Iron Man may have been the hero who made the ultimate sacrifice in Avengers Endgame to save the world, but it turns out that Tony Stark often gets by with more than just a little help from his friends. Almost every battle the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist has had would have ended in a big fat L if not for the intervention of his most esteemed companions. We've seen Pepper Potts, Happy Hogan, War Machine, Spider-Man, and a whole bunch of other Avengers help out the troublesome Tony at one point or another, and it became a trend throughout the entire Infinity Saga. It's hard to believe that it's already been 13 years since the original Iron Man film came out, but here we are. The first antagonist of the MCU was Obadiah Stane, one of Tony Stark's business partners and a good friend of his dad, Howard. Stane eventually became the CEO of Stark Industries, but Tony later took over, which made him super jealous. So jealous, in fact, that he made his own Iron Man-esque suit called the Ironmonger armor. In the final battle that pitted Iron Man against Ironmonger, it was Tony who told Pepper Potts to overload the main arc reactor. She was hesitant at first, but went through with it to save Tony. If it wasn't for Pepper Potts giving Ironmonger the shock of his life, Tony Stark would have been done for. I guess that's why they were so perfect for each other. Iron Man 2 saw a new villain enter the fold in Whiplash, aka Ivan Vanko, the son of brilliant Russian scientist Anton Vanko. Ivan's father worked with Howard Stark many years ago, but was screwed over by Stark, leading to him living out the rest of his days penniless. Of course, Ivan Vanko vowed revenge, and his first target was Tony. You know, typical villain stuff. Tony was enjoying himself and driving in a historic race at the famous Monaco racetrack when Whiplash ruined everything by slicing his car in half. Not cool, Ivan. Tony didn't even have his Iron Man suit and was completely helpless if his best friend Happy Hogan didn't run his Rolls Royce right into Whiplash, giving Stark his portable Mark V armor to fight back. Again, our boy got bailed out by one of his loyal companions. I wish I had friends like those. To celebrate being alive, I guess, Tony Stark throws a huge party after the Monaco incident where he gets absolutely wasted and makes a complete fool out of himself. It wasn't a good look for Tony, so he wakes up feeling disgraced and really hungover. This is where the famous restaurant scene happens. Stark is approached by Nick Fury and Natalie Rushman, aka Black Widow, and they both know about his Palladium Poisoning issue. Essentially, Stark's arc reactor requires Palladium to work as efficiently as possible, but it comes with the caveat of slowly poisoning him. Natalie supplies him with a box full of lithium dioxide, which should help slow down the poisoning until Tony finds a solution of his own. Something he eventually did. Not only is Tony Stark getting people to help him out in physical altercations, but he's even got people helping him fight for his life. Later in the movie, the final battle comes along, and it's time for Tony to duke it out with Whiplash one-on-one. Or is it? At the Stark Expo, Justin Hammer, the CEO of Hammer Industries, Stark Industries' biggest rivals, unveils some new military gear, captained by Tony's good friend, James Rhodes. It turns out that Hammer and Vanko have been working together on this the whole time, and Ivan has complete control over Rhodey's armor. Natalie finds a way to give Rhodey control of his armor again, and he and Tony move to face off against Whiplash together. Rhodey and Tony combine forces in an attempt to take down Whiplash and a bunch of Hammer drones threatening to attack innocent civilians in the battle at Stark Expo. As expected, the good guys win, but once again, Tony Stark needed help to get the job done. In Iron Man 3, we're led to believe that the Mandarin is the main villain at first. He's supposed to be the head of the terrorist organization called the Ten Rings, but it turns out that he isn't the real Mandarin, just a troubled actor known as Trevor Slattery, posing as the leader. Before all of this was known, Tony Stark recklessly shared his home address in the press, asking the Mandarin to pay him a visit. Well, ask and you shall receive, Mr. Stark, because that's exactly what happened. Tony's entire Malibu mansion was blown to bits by the Mandarin's crew. This is why you don't share your home address with terrorists, Tony. You're just asking for a battle you can't win. The last thing you need to do is make their job easier, and that's exactly what you did. Sometimes Tony's hubris just gets the better of him. The actual main villain of the movie was Aldrich Killian, who used the Mandarin and the Ten Rings organization to cover up all of his mishaps as a part of Advanced Idea Mechanics, aka AIM. Anytime AIM planned an attack or something went wrong, the Mandarin would show up and claim responsibility. It was an ingenious idea, but Tony Stark and Pepper Potts caught on. In the final battle, Stark's Iron Legion came up clutch and made it difficult for Killian to get any offense in. Tony would trap Aldrich in an Iron Man suit rigged to self-destruct, But due to his extremis powers, Killian survived the blast like it was nothing. It took Pepper Potts, who also had extremis powers, to deal the final blow to Aldrich Killian and put him down for good. Once again, it was Pepper with the coup de grace. Fast forward to Avengers Age of Ultron, and we have a whole mess created by Tony Stark. He was the one who developed Ultron to protect humans, but the sentient robot quickly wanted to do the exact opposite of that. While Tony's inventions constantly find a way to bite him in the butt, at least one of them wasn't so bad. In what would become known as the Duel of Johannesburg, the Hulk went on an absolute rampage after being spellbound by Scarlet Witch, and could not be calmed down no matter what anyone tried. Luckily, Tony Stark created the Hulkbuster armor, specifically designed to fight Hulk. While Tony technically won this fight and calmed the Hulk down by knocking him unconscious, he wouldn't have stood a chance if it wasn't for Bruce Banner's help in designing the Hulkbuster armor and Veronica, who delivered it to him. Captain America: Civil War is one of the best MCU films, and for good reason. It was pretty much an Avengers movie with all the different characters who made an appearance. In the red corner, we have Team Iron Man, composed of Iron Man, Rhodey, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Vision, and Black Panther. In the blue corner, we have Team Captain America, composed of Captain America, Falcon, the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Ant-Man. Team Tony wanted to sign the Sokovia Accords while Team Cap was against them, which, of course, ended up in a civil war of sorts. At the end of the movie, Iron Man gets into a fight with two super soldiers in Captain America and Bucky Barnes. It's a very bad battle to pick for Tony, who didn't stand a chance against the two in hand-to-hand combat. Stark couldn't get the job done on his own. In Avengers Infinity War, Tony Stark got himself into a sticky situation. Doctor Strange was captured by Ebony Maw, one of Thanos' children, and put in his Q ship to be taken back to Thanos, who wanted the Time Stone, which was stored in the Doctor's Eye of Agamotto. Maw had no idea that both Iron Man and Spider-Man secretly found a way onto his ship. Tony Stark comes up with the plan to rescue Doctor Strange, but he sure needed some help from Spider-Man and his Iron Spider armor. He shot a hole in the ship just big enough to fit Maw through. The problem was that it was also big enough for Doctor Strange. If not for Spider-Man being in the right place at the right time to save Strange, that plan would have backfired big time for Mr. Stark. Come on, Tony, you're better than that. Eventually, the Guardians of the Galaxy meet up with Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. Tony assumes that the Guardians are working for Thanos, but quickly learns that they're on the same team, so they work together to take down Thanos on Titan. The Mad Titan on Titan. It just writes itself. Anyway, Thanos and Iron Man duke it out mano a mano, but things don't go well for Stark. All that for a drop of blood. Yeah. While Tony Stark gave Thanos a good battle, he didn't stand a chance going one-on-one with the Mad Titan. Heck, they still couldn't get the Infinity Gauntlet off of Thanos because Star-Lord flipped out over Gamora. Thankfully, Tony Stark got his revenge and made the ultimate sacrifice in Endgame, using the Infinity Gauntlet to snap Thanos out of existence for good. Honestly, Tony Stark and I actually have a lot in common. While I'm not a genius, billionaire, playboy, or philanthropist, but I also need help fighting all of my battles, and I don't even have a nanotech suit or anything like that. Doesn't that technically make me stronger than Iron Man? I gotta call my mom.